I will now call the October 20th, 2014 Blue Springs City Council meeting to order. If you would stand with me, observe a moment of silence, and I will lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. I welcome those of you in attendance as those that might listen to the audio later on to tonight's City Council meeting. The next item is the consent agenda. Are there items that need to be pulled? If not, I accept the motion for approval.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Quibell.
Aye.
Councilman Levesey.
Aye.
Councilman Fowler.
Aye.
Councilman Carter.
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson.
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper. Aye.
Next, we have the introduction and reading of Bill 4338.
Are introduced, Your Honor.
Okay.
First reading of Bill Number 4338, an ordinance approving final plat for M&M Storage.
Move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign?
Second reading of Bill Number 4338, an ordinance approving final plat for M&M Storage.
Move the bill be approved on its second reading and assign the appropriate ordinance number.
Discussion? Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Levesey.
Aye.
Councilman Fowler.
Aye.
Councilman Carter.
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson.
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper. Aye. Councilman Quibell.
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4511.
Next, we have the introduction and reading of Bill 4339.
Are introduced, Your Honor.
Okay.
First reading of Bill Number 4339, an ordinance annexing real estate to the city of Blue Springs, Missouri.
Move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign?
Second reading of Bill Number 4339, an ordinance annexing real estate to the city of Blue Springs, Missouri.
Move the bill be approved on its second reading and assign the appropriate ordinance number.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Fowler.
Aye.
Councilman Carter.
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson.
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper. Aye. Councilman Quibell.
Aye.
Councilman Levesey.
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4512.
Next, we have a public hearing on a rezoning of Lone Pine Acres Lots 1 and 2. Mr. Johnson.
Your Honor, for public hearing RZ 9-14-4576, I'd like to offer one exhibit, which includes City Council information form with attachments, staff report with attachments, affidavit of publication as advertised in Blue Springs Examiner, September 27, 2014, application with attachments, 185-foot notification map, names, addresses of property owners within 185 feet of the site, copy of letter sent to property owners, Title IV Land Use Section, Blue Springs Code of Ordinances by reference, 2003 Comprehensive Plan by reference. These are all the exhibits I had to offer on behalf of the city.
Thank you. Ms. Allen, on behalf of the city.
Thank you, Your Honor, and Councilman. Again, before this evening is a request to rezone what is called Lone Pine Acres, lots 1 and 2. The property is located at 1500 Southeast U.S. Highway 40. The property is currently zoned County Industrial, LI, and the request is to rezone it to, now that it's just been recently annexed, to city zoning, which would be LI/ADPO, which is light industrial in the Adams Dairy Parkway Overlay District. Property in and of itself is just shy of 4 acres in size. There are 2 lots being proposed. Lot 1 is 1.8 acres, and Lot 2 would be 1.97. As you can see on the map, property is located on the south side of 40 Highway, east of Industrial Drive in the light industrial area in that location, and west of Timber Creek East, multifamily development. You can see the existing use is a light industrial office mix, and the applicant again is bringing the property into the city to access sanitary sewer, and then to further develop this into an additional lot. So with that, Planning Commission last week did recommend approval of this unanimously, and is forwarded here for your discussion and decision tonight.
Are there any questions of Mr. Allen? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Is the applicant present and like to speak? Would you come and be sworn in, please?
I don't need to speak. I thought you were asking about...
Well, no. Okay. Well, you're present. Okay, you don't want to speak. Okay, is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak in favor of? In favor of? In opposition to? Opposition to? Close the public hearing. Introduction and reading of Bill 4340.
I'll introduce it, Your Honor.
Okay.
My ordinance says 4341, but I think it's just a typo. First reading of Bill number 4340, an ordinance rezoning property from general business to RC Regional Commercial.
Move the bill be approved on its first
that.
reading and proceed with the second.
Is that...
Okay, hold up.
Hold on, is that-
Hold up.
That's not right.
Okay, that's why I paused, because I don't have that in my book.
Kathy accidentally put your book this morning, sorry.
All right, let's try this again. First reading of Bill number 4340, an ordinance rezoning property from L1 County Industrial to LIADPO, Light Industrial Adams Dairy Parkway Overlay. Does that sound right, everybody?
Yes, sir. Move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Pose same sign.
Second reading of Bill number 4330, an ordinance rezoning property from LI County Industrial to LIADPO, Light Industrial Adams Dairy Parkway Overlay.
Move the bill be approved on its second reading and assign the appropriate ordinance number.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper? Aye. Councilman Quabell?
Aye.
Councilman Levesey?
Aye.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4513.
Next, we have a public hearing on rezoning of Toyo Motors. Mr. Johnson.
I'm just doing this to see if you guys are paying attention. For public hearing, RZ 914-4585, have one exhibit, Your Honor, which includes City Council information form with attachments, staff report with attachments, affidavit of publication is advertised in Blue Springs Examiner, September 27, 2014. Application with attachments, 185-foot notification map, names, addresses of property owners within 185 feet of the site. Copy of letter sent to property owners, Title IV Land Use Section, Blue Springs Code of Ordinance by reference, and 2003 Comprehensive Plan by reference. These are all the exhibits I have to offer on behalf of the city, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Allen.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Councilman, again, before you this evening is a request to rezone property, again known as Toyo Motors. Property address is 1708 Southwest, eastbound US 40 Highway. It is on the south side of 40 Highway, located between 15th and 19th Streets, just under half acre in size at 0.45 acres. Applicants requesting to change zoning from current zoning of general business, GB, to regional commercial, RC. Show a map here. Briefly, the general location. A little bit more detailed map for you here. Again, the property is, or was at one point, a Sonic Drive-In restaurant. The majority of the infrastructure is still in place as such. However, the applicant is looking to modify the property into a used car facility. As such, with RC zoning, minimum lot size is 1 acre. The applicant did go through process for a variance from that minimum lot size to the existing 0.45 acre minimum lot size, so that is no longer an issue in conflict with the Unified Development Code. So they're moving forward with their other approvals, being rezoning, plating, as well as a conditional use permit forthcoming for the actual used car use. So with that, again, the Plan Commission did hold a public hearing last week on this rezoning and moved forward with a unanimous decision to approve it, carrying it forward here for you tonight.
Are there any questions of Mr. Allen? If not, thank you. Would the applicant or the applicant representative like to come and be sworn in?
I do. Greg Grounds, 1401 Northwest Wildwood Drive, Blue Springs, Missouri. As Scott indicated, our ultimate purpose is to bring before the appropriate bodies a request for conditional use, knowing that nothing that's done tonight means that you necessarily look favorably on that. But tonight we are in front of you asking this be rezoned to regional commercial. This is one of those pieces of land that historically was developed in a way that it was sort of what was left over when a lot of things happened out on 40 Highway. So it has a very minimal size. It has very few possible uses in which it could be commercially viable. The Sonic tried hard but did not make it, so that now we have a very small lot with very few possibilities for what might happen out there. One of those would certainly be a used car lot. I'm not here to argue about the used car lot tonight, but I know that you will know that that is one thing that we'll be putting forward, and I would suggest to you that some of the use of a used car lot would be much less intensive than if it was to be continued as a Sonic. Limited hours, you wouldn't be open until midnight with the lights swinging on the fourplexes back behind it, or the kind of traffic that a drive-through restaurant has. A car lot has much less intensive use. I'll make those arguments later, but I know that that has to be on the back of everybody's mind, do I want a car lot? It also begs the question, ultimately, where do car lots go in this city? They're all conditional uses because many years ago one sprang up where it wasn't expected, and it was a right, it was a permitted use, not a conditional use, and the council felt like it had to get a handle on that and have some way of controlling when those came along. So it's there, and we understand that, and we understand the process and what we'll have to do. But tonight, we know that we cannot go forward and even request a conditional use unless we are regional commercial. I looked at the regional commercial chart, which was enclosed with the staff's comments. Actually, I'd looked at it before, but I was pleased to see that I'd actually read it correctly. And interestingly, the city is probably more protected with regional commercial than it would be if it remains in general business. In general business right now, it's possible to apply for an adult entertainment establishment in GB that can't be in a regional commercial, and a permitted use is a bar or tavern. So actually, my client, by making this application, loses some things that they might have been able to do conditionally or as a permitted right, with the risk that they may not prevail down the road. But it is something that we think would put the land back into play in the city of Blue Springs, and we're here tonight requesting that. I'd be glad to address any questions anyone you have.
Are there any questions of Mr. Grounds? Any questions from the council? Seeing none, thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak in support of? Anyone else in support of? In opposition to? Opposition to? Close the public hearing. Introduction and reading of Bill 4341 now.
I'll introduce it, Your Honor.
Okay.
First reading of Bill Number 4341, an ordinance rezoning property from GB General Business to RC Regional Commercial.
Move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Second reading of Bill Number 4341, an ordinance rezoning property from GB General Business to RC Regional Commercial.
Move the bill be approved on its second reading and assign the appropriate ordinance number.
Second.
You got it out before you pass. Good. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Edmondson.
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper.
Aye.
Councilman Quibell.
Aye.
Councilman Lovesey.
Aye.
Councilman Fowler.
Aye.
Councilman Carter.
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4514.
Okay, that brings us to mayoral announcements. And I guess the only thing I can say that we're all excited about is the World Series start in Kansas City tomorrow night. And we're looking for a repeat from 1985. I'm not predicting how quickly we will get it, but we will win it. We will be world champions again in Kansas City, for the Kansas City Royals to be followed by the Kansas City Chiefs again. Okay, that brings me to Thoughts Stupenda. Tonight's it does not have an author, but it says tact is the art of saying nothing when there is nothing to say, end quote. At this time, we're going to have our city attorney, Mrs. Jennings, to read a motion, and we just need one of you to acknowledge it by saying, so moved. Okay. Ms. Jennings.
Thank you.
Apparently.
The appropriate motion to go into closed session would be, I move that this body go into closed session pursuant to Section 610.021, subparagraphs 1, 2, 9, 11, and 12, Revised Statutes of Missouri for the purpose of confidential and privileged communications between a governmental body or its representatives and its attorney relating to legal action, causes of action, or litigation involving this body and legal advice. Discussions regarding real estate transactions where public knowledge may adversely affect legal considerations thereof. Discussions pertaining to competitive bidding and sealed bids, and for preparation and discussions including work product relating to negotiations with employee groups, and that this body stand adjourned at the end of such session.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Culpepper. Aye. Councilman Quibell.
Aye.
Councilman Levesey.
Aye.
Councilman Fowler.
Aye.
Councilman Carter.
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson.
Aye.
Carried unanimously.
Okay, we're going to take about a 2 or 3 minute break to allow our visitors to be excused, and then we will go into executive session.